So, as we are back once again, still looking at Matthew chapter 1, verse 2, where Jacob begat Judah and his brothers. We get a little bit deeper. Last week we looked at the first three brothers and what they meant to Leah. But now we continue on and we find in chapter 30 that Rachel is now envious of her sister. As we look there, it says, now Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, and Rachel envied her sister and said, Jacob, give me children, else I die. So we find here that she is very envious, jealous, whatever word you want to put there, because she's not having any children. Now, this comes after 4 children that are named, so therefore that's at least, we find 4 years of time of trying to have a child, not being able to have the child. But we find that Jacob does get to the root of it, gets to the realization of what's going on. Jacob tells her, there in verse 2, and Jacob's anger was aroused against Rachel and said, am I in the place of God, who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb? So we find there that Jacob realizes that it's God doing this. It's not him. That was probably hard for Rachel to take, just as it was for Sarah when it came with Hagar and Ishmael. That it came down to being her. It wasn't Moses, or it wasn't Abraham, and it wasn't Jacob. It was her. And we find with that he says, you know, it's not on me. It's on the Lord. The Lord has to do it. And we need to look at that. You know, in our lives, there are going to be times where we see other people having things that we want. We're going to see things people are experiencing that we're not experiencing. And that's on the Lord. It's all in the Lord's time. Now, as we continue, we find that Rachel then pulls a Sarah. She brings in her handmaid, just as Hagar was brought in, so does Rachel bring in her handmaid, and it says there that she is that she becomes another wife of Jacob, and she bears him children. First would be Dan. Dan, the name means to judge. You find there in verse 6 it says, God has judged my case, and he has also heard my voice and given me a son. So we find there that technically her first child's name is Dan. It means to judge. It means to rule over. It means to vindicate. She felt vindicated in what she had done to gain children. Then another year goes by and Naphtali is born. Naphtali means to wrestling or a struggle. As you find there in verse 8, it says, with great wrestlings or great struggles, I have wrestled with my sister, and indeed I have prevailed. So she called his name Naphtali. Now as you look at that, Rachel was in a battle with her sister. And with this, we need to understand that can destroy the family dynamic. You see, the Lord does not want, the Lord does not desire, and the Lord is not pleased with the strife that comes into our family. Family strife has ripple effects that will affect everything within the family. We found this with Rachel, and with this, she's in struggle with her sister when she shouldn't be. It is all supposed to be in the Lord's time, not her own. And yes, she tries to manipulate to get what she wants. And in that, there's strife. That will be ripples effect that will go long after her death. For hundreds of years. Over 1,000 years, there would still be issues with that ripple effect of the strife that this family had. Let me tell you that when we have strife in our family, those ripple effects can affect everything in our lives. Not only for now, but down the road. So the question then becomes this: where is it in your life? Where is it in your family life where strife may have a stronghold, may have just a spot where it festers every once in a while, and then there's strife in the family? Let me tell you, that is not of God. With the Lord comes peace, joy, love, long-suffering, grace. The list continues on and on. But nowhere in there is there strife. Instead of feeding that strife that is in your life or is in your family, let me tell you now, it's time to give that over to the Lord. Say, Lord, I'm giving it to you. And Lord, as I give it to you, you take it and you deal with it. When we do that, we'll find that our lives really get more simple. We realize the blessings of the Lord. But also, as we look at that, our family and our family life will blossom in the presence of the Almighty. Until next time, see you then.